out his page. Make sure you follow his pages on Instagram and TikTok. And he's got a lot of great content. So here is throwing 98 miles per hour with a gray ball as the gray plyos. Or a gray plyo. So I just wanted to sort of do a little quick breakdown of what he does right. So let's take him into his leg lift. By the way, I want you to notice how he has this little bit of a glove tap. That's pretty cool. It's like something rhythmic. This is really good for people to get out of their head and to be athletic. Now notice how his lifting his leg before he finishes tapping. I think that's kind of cool. So now look at where he is at the top of his leg lift. Look at this. I know we're looking behind, but he is counter-rotating a little bit, so he's generating this torque. He's kind of winding the hips in a particular direction. But he's also moving forward a little bit too. He's moving towards the plate or the wall here. So that's something that he does pretty well. So now let's go into his load or his glide. Now, this is something very interesting. Look at how he doesn't have a crazy ton of back leg flexion. He has back leg flexion, no doubt, and it's in his glute too, but he's not sitting deep. And different people need different levels of depth, so some people do need to go deeper and other people don't, and he's found the sweet spot. So this is sort of a secondary thing. People make it primary. How deep do you sit in your back leg? There's no real benefit to thinking like that per se. There's other things. But if you notice, his staying closed. His hips are, not only are they facing third base, if anything, they might be facing inside third base. His might be facing a little bit more towards left field, the left fielder than the third baseman. So this is very impressive how long he keeps the load. And look also how nicely he counter-rotates his torso. And again, I want to re-emphasize, look at how he stays in his glutes. His knee is not very far over his toe. In fact, it's right in line. But his glute is behind his heel from behind the back view, which is very impressive. So now let's check him out into his unload, into his drive. Again, very impressive what he's doing with the torso, staying counter-rotated. And check this out. Check out how he unloads. All this energy builds up, all this unwinding. It's a very beautiful thing to see. He goes into landing. Now, check out his arm. It's pretty nice. He's getting... he's building some space. He's getting a little bit of a scap load. He's not yanking it behind. It's sort of smoothly flowing. And this is against his lower half rotating. So look, essentially, let's go from the load to the unload. So it's loaded here. All this tension built up. Now it's unloading. So you see how his hips are rotating, but his arm is freely floating up against this, if that makes sense. So they're sort of doing, it's sort of resisting a little bit, right? It's resisting. So now his hips are finished. His torso is supposed to catch that energy up the chain. It does. Now it's sent to the arm, and now it's sent into ball release. And that right there is how he threw 98 miles an hour with Great Plyo. So thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And also make sure that you follow Joey's channel as well, or Joey's Instagram and TikTok. Thank you.